What's up, everybody? Hope 93 in the place to be. Welcome to the Bennett Brothers Wrestling Corner, Season 4 of Episode 5. No, wait a minute. It's more Season 5 of Episode 40. That sounds better used. Anyway, this is a pretty much late showing, but not too much is going to be discussed. It's just going to be one topic and one topic only. And that topic was basically asked for. I just thought, you know what? If I don't have a topic for myself, to really put up there. So, how about I reach out to, my friends and everybody that watches the Wrestling Corner and, see if they have a topic in mind. And the first one right off the bat, right after the question was asked, what should be talked about on the Wrestling Corner? Right off the bat, Blue Goblin. Blue Goblin came up with a topic. It wasn't in title like form, but I got the gist of what was the topic. Basically, the topic is, I think a ever going topic for WWE. Basically, the treatment and representation of African Americans in said company. And it seemed very apropos to do it since it is Black History Month, and Blue Goblin has always gone on record. If you don't believe me, you can check through February to last year's editions of the corner around this time, where every time they showed a wrestling, one of those tributes to an African American or just Black wrestler, Blue Goblin was always the first one to say, how does WWE always show these vignettes and stuff for, African, but yet they still have yet to have a true African American champion as WWE champion. And also it seemed very apropos for me. I think it's the first time ever on a Wrestling Corner, me wearing my Divide Numbers Not Race shirt. So two things are very apropos: the topic and what I'm wearing. So once again, I thank Blue Goblin for being the first one to make the first one right off the bat to give a topic to talk about. Once again, this will probably not be long, probably go on to 11:30. So once again, it's not an hour show or an hour and 30-minute show. So where where should I begin with this? I guess basically say throughout WWE there have been many wrestlers of Black descent to be in the in the annals of time, from the likes of Big Cat Ernie Ladd, JYD Junkyard Dog, the Natural Butch Reed, SD Jones, Ahmed Johnson, Ron Simmons, the late Viscera / Mabel, The Rock, Shelton Benjamin, Booker T, Bobby Lashley, Big E and Kofi Kingston. The list goes on. And Mark Henry, and most of those people I've just named have been champions at one point in time in their career for WWE. Some haven't, but not everybody becomes champion in wrestling. No matter what their race is, it's just that's what it is. Um, there's always like a big, like, I think a broken base between fans when it comes in terms of The Rock. You know, when people say there's never been a black WWE champion, somebody would go say, "What are you talking about? There was The Rock," and that person would probably be, "Well, The Rock, the Rock is half Samoan, and more importantly, they mostly played up his Samoan roots, never his black roots, his dad being black." So you always get that. And if you go on Wikipedia and you maybe, I think if you search, Booker T, it will say that Booker T the first was the first pure African American in WWE to become a world champion. And I believe that's where when they busy discount, The Rock from that, that's where they're going with. We still have yet to have and full, you know, full my full of black descent become WWE champion. You know, not they're half black and half something else, like how Derek Jeter, he's mixed. If somebody of the likes of, Kofi Kingston was to win the WWE champion, which unfortunately right now I don't see that being the case. I really don't, and I am a fan of Kofi, but right now I think that ship has long sailed. Or if somebody of the likes of Big E, was to get a main event push and was to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, you want to see that would be a case right there. So, we have yet to have. So while there has been a champion of black descent, we have yet to have a, uh, pure, pure champion of black descent. Like, there's no other ethnicity involved. Will that happen? I hope so, but I just hope it's not just a way of, you know, it just happens just for it can finally happen. No, this person has built that credibility has been built up. The fans are with this person, and it feels natural. It feels organic. It doesn't feel forced. Well, one thing that um, one thing that Blue Goblin was mostly alluding to with his message was, you know, it is WWE, and this once again is another ongoing, like debate. Is WWE quote unquote racist? It's been a debate. There's been a hell of a you will go on like wrestling forums, fan forums, and you'll see that topic be debated. It'd be like, what the hell is Jamie Noble doing? There'd be like many pages for that discussion. Now, oh, you know, in Blue Goblin's message, where I think we got one comment. Here, hold on. I know I saw J Flow. I believe that was J Flow. So, hey Jay, how's it going? Yes, yeah, I knew it. Oh, I'll be right back. I am back. Yeah, yeah. Jay Floyd. Yeah, hey Malcolm, how you doing? I think some African Americans. Oh no! Some African Americans have been snubbed in the past, like Kofi and Biggie Langston. Well, I'm doing fine, Jay Floyd. Thanks for asking. I hope that your weekend was easy as using a napkin. Mine sure was. Um, so what did I really wrote? Okay, yeah. Basically discussing if WWE is racist. The ongoing like debate. No, to be quite honest, I think there's a misconception that uh, the people. I think people put them two and together. No, there's a big difference between racism and discrimination. Discrimination. There is a difference between because if oh, thank you, Jay Flo, for the comment on the shirt. Yeah, went to Custom Ink. Hey, right back. Makes sense. You know, I went to Custom Ink. Oh, whoa. Got more than we got Ziggler, Ryback, and Luke Harper. You know, I wanted to, get a shirt of my own, and I thought of this idea. Like, you know what? Let me put it like a message. And Custom Ink was so thankful enough to actually make this shirt for me. But it is a big difference. I was going between discrimination and racism. If WWE was racist, like fully, then I don't think that you know, any African Americans are just wrestlers of black descent would have even been in would even been in this company. Now, do I know that? Do I know that? Do I know that there's racism involved in WWE as we speak? You know, I don't know, but uh, I don't know if there aren't. I mean, the closest that we've heard was the race kind of racist comments from the employee, that got Alberto Del Rio riled up, and which kind of led to Del Rio, who was already leaving, but to be fired. Um, so racism is a very strong word, and I think it's a word that is easily thrown around when but now there's something just called discrimination. And I think that if WWE was fully racist, and it seems like because I've heard this, I heard this plenty of time, that WWE, that Blue God, I mean, from Blue Goblin and everybody that WWE, they just say WWE. What the look at freaking Mercury looked like he was like this, like a snake charm, like he was being snake charmed. That W is racist. They're just racist. It's not racist against, not racist against blacks or anything. Because if they were racist, fully racist, and I'm not really defending. I'm just going on what I'm just going on for. I'm just with observation. If they were racist towards just non-Caucasian, then Del Rio would never won all those championships. Del Rio, I don't believe is mixed. He's pure Mexican. Um, you know, who else? Um, uh-oh. Then, no, Ahmed Johnson would never even won IC champ, no, IC champion. Um, you know, people like to Jerry May would never amounted to even having gold. The goes on and on. So that's why, look, I don't look. You can say WWE is racist. You can say, but it's not. You can't go and say that they're. Oh, well, we just saw like one of the first shots fired. Um, between Reigns and Brian. Can't say I'm too surprised. But once again, I remember thing on the Stephen Malcolm show when me and Steve, Slack Group 88 was talking and he was like how one person was saying how, WWE has done Mark Henry dirty. I almost like as if, Mark, when you say somebody's been done dirty, but let's look at Mark Henry's career accomplishments. He's he's held a lot of belts, and let's face it, his pushes got halted because of injuries. Some of them, every time they try to push him as a monster heel, they have him take out somebody big, and then when they're like about to build up the actual match, he would get hurt. And then finally in 2011, he boomed. That Hall of Pain gimmick came, and people got really behind it. And he had a pretty decent heavyweight championship reign. It wasn't they built him up, and then when he met Orton, he lost. No, he went through Kane. He went through Big Show. He went through Vladimir Kozlov. Made his way all the went through Sheamus, who just turned face, and then finally made up to Orton, now champion, and he beat him cleanly, beat him beat Orton 2 straight pay-per-views cleanly. So you can't really say Mark Henry's been done dirty. Now have there been some snub like J Flo said? Yeah, there's been some snub. I felt that with Kofi Kingston because of Orton, because Orton, felt just because that one mishap that Kofi was not ready, and looked like WWE just didn't go with Orton's word and say okay, and then for another time, no, it looked like they just went with word and they never tried ever again with Kofi. Yeah, Kofi, he had an Elimination Chamber match for the title, but, it never came across as, he was going to win. Just like how with the first initial Elimination Chambers, most of those, all the participants in that, you felt, okay, they built enough momentum, everything, and they could win this thing. Kofi had good performances in 2012 Elimination Chamber. But, now, I brought up the whole issue about the real with the racism. Of course, one of the first instances I've heard of like blatant, like legitimate racism or like a racial comment in WWE was, I think, when Mark Henry said that Michael Hayes had a racial comment towards him on SmackDown, backstage. So once again, and whether it's true or not, the truth that some reporters said that there have been some instances of a racial slur and everything. It's like there have been racial slurs thrown in the NFL, with Bill Romanowski. But once again, I was going to say, if you feel that WWE is, when you're racist, it's more of hate. Just again, there's a difference between racism and discrimination. You can discriminate, somebody based off of their, look or anything, but that doesn't you hate. You hate them. I mean, the glass ceiling. That mostly every, mostly minority faces. That's like borderline. Some people say it's racism, and some people say discrimination, because not necessarily that means that the boss hates. No, he hates the this person because of what they are. It's just they try to. It's just that they hold them down. So yeah, when you're racist, like if you're a racist towards Japanese, you despise them with passion. I mean, you wouldn't even give them a chance. I think if WWE was pure, everybody want to say WWE, if they were pure racing, that once again, I don't think there would have been any non-Caucasian in WWE. Any. There would not have been any. There would never been blacks, Japanese, Chinese, I don't know. I'm not even going to count Canada, Canadian, because that's not necessarily a race. But Italian, Dominican, Puerto Rican, all that. Now, while do I wish that there'd be more of an international flow in W, since they're called the World Wrestling? Yeah, of course I do. Because I mean, look at things like UFC and everything, and then especially look at MLB, which is like a big melting pot, and that's one of the, in my opinion, one of the attractions of MLB for me. That's such a big melting pot of many nations. But so so like I think if somebody was racist through and through, then just The Rock having black descent in him would they would have put this scabosh on like a push for him. Like what? But, he is. Yeah, he's Samoan, but he's also half black. So that's a big no-no right there. And then Blue God also brought up people the likes of Prime Time, Slick, and Slick and the R-Truth. And like I said in the chat, let's be honest, R-Truth, R-Truth, that gimmick of his is natural. That's all him. He really does have a rapping background. And when he left WWE as K Quick, he carried over into TNA. And then when he came back to WWE, he still retained his gimmick. And as for Crime Time, Shad and JTG have gone on record and say that, yeah, that was their idea. The whole, like thug and hood-like mentality, and JTG say he was doing like the 50 Cent bulletproof vest and everything way before he got signed by WWE. Now as for Slick, I didn't grow up with Slick. First time I was introduced to Slick was when I finally got the WrestleMania anthology. But if you look at his Titantron, you see the chicken D&E and everything. Once again, the black stereotype. That's where you can like, okay, what's that? But let's be quite honest, even fellow black, directors and everything. Do you look at a show like the Boondocks? Wait, hold on, let me check with the Boondocks. Let me just make sure I'm not putting like my foot in my mouth. Come on. Come on. There's all right, Aaron. All right, look at that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, for the Boondocks. Boondocks traded by Aaron McGruder. He's black too. So once again, like I'm saying, even though WWE's owned by Vince, Vince McMahon and everything, we even see it with fellow African Americans, writers and stuff incorporate, black stereotype into their stuff. You watch the Boondocks, you see a lot of black stereotyping going on in that show. A lot of controversial stuff, towards blacks. So, so you see it a lot, even whether even within the same race, and then you got things like the New Day, which, okay, yeah, I was more like appalled at the fact that because I felt that Kofi Kingston, Biggie, and Xavier Woods were better than that. They did not need that gimmick. They were better than that. And then people saying like, what if that word is that it was their idea? And once again, if it was their idea, then hey, that was their idea. They came up with that. But I just felt that I gave the New Day a chance, but now looking at it, seems like they're already just becoming just another wrestler on the roster. Nothing really comes off like special about the group. And I'm thinking if they're supposed to be all for this justice stuff, wouldn't it make sense? I'm just thinking, wouldn't it make sense for them to have an angle have a subplot with the Authority? So Yeah. Oh wait. Saw Nathan. Hello, Nathan. How's it going? How was your weekend? Um. So, and then we had of course we had you know we had we had stables like the nation of domination, which was and a mod, which was like an amalgamation of the Nation of Islam, Black Panthers. You know, yeah, it was an amalgamation of those two, especially in the beginning. So when they first came, you had Clarence Mason and you had D'Lo Brown was really big at that time. Like that was like D'Lo at his biggest before when he came back in TNA. Before before D'Lo Brown became the D'Lo Brown that we know. Oh man. Um, Clarence Mason, they used to come out and the suits with the bow tie, no, completely looking, completely looking like Nation of Islam. While Farouk, Savio Vega, and I'm not going to count Crush. Crush was like the only uh, non, like the only Caucasian in the group at the time, and then you had those two rappers and everything. But Farouk and Savio Vega really looked like they just came straight out of like they got rejected like from the Black Panthers or something like they tried to be a part of Black Panthers and then somebody said it's far too late like and get out of here and did the the fist sign one the symbol of Black Power and during that time it was during the Attitude Era so like all bets were off. Even something was controversial, WWE, they did it. And the Nation of Domination picked up a lot of momentum. And then it went from the Nation of Domination to just the Nation, and also, and wonder. So, man, was the Rock's group. And, even when The Rock finally re-christened himself as The Rock, remember when he got on the mic, after the crowd was, saying, Rocky sucks and Rocky sucks, the first thing came out of his mouth was, this is not, this is not a, this is not a black thing. This is, the one thing that Rocky does. That Rocky you can call Rocky's. I think Rocky's in many things, but what he is not is suck. So right off the bat, he kind of went off course of the Nation Down theme of you know kind of like Black Power, and then there's more about me not sucking, and then you had things like Thuggin' and Buggin', like Teddy Long group, like in 2003, which incorporated him, Jazz, Mark Henry, and Rodney Mack, and you even had Christopher Nowinski, because later on, Theodore Long kind of eased up on his dislike of, as he was just say, white boys. Even had that white boy challenge where Roddy Mack would just go against some Caucasian jobber and beat them like in record time until finally Goldberg was the opponent. Goldberg just went right through Roddy Mack like in 28 seconds. And even when, if my bro was here, he would say the same. Every time WWE tried to do the whole um whether it's anti or pro, black angle, it's just it still does not come off right. Like plenty times with I remember like in 2006 Shelton Benjamin, he was like on a losing streak and everything, and he's making all these excuses. Then the founder's thing was it's because I'm black, and I'm like, oh, you really gotta go pull the the race car for Shelton Benjamin. Like really, and I mean and then you have um, um no oh no then you have in groups, the Facebook group I'm in, Wrestling Fanatics. Um, man, I just had it. Um, man, I just had forget it, man. What was I just had the topic? Um, man, can't even forget what. While I'm thinking, let's go to some of our comments. Okay, we got J Flow. I agree. I don't believe W is a race organization. Sure, some African Americans have been snubbed, but I don't think it was because of the race. I would like one of us, everyone, to be the top guy at some point, though. Hey, look at that. You learn something new every day. No, I didn't know. Not in the beach, and it's not to be disrespectful, but nor did it matter. What race, Jared Flowers was, but now that I know that he's black. But even if he wasn't, it wouldn't matter to me. He's, get along with him very well. I never met him personally, but hey, it seems like in this time they, this time you definitely have a good portion of your personal friends, and a good portion of your friends that you might never come in contact with personally, but you do wish that someday you will meet them personally. When we got Big Rick from the land down under. Hey Malcolm, how are things in the Big Apple? Hopefully it is warming up. Well, earlier today, my classes were canceled because of hail. Now, did I think that the hail was that bad that I had to cancel classes? No, but it is what it is. So I still have yet to, since coming back on my second semester, we still have yet to have a full day of class, a full week of classes. And that is not going to change next week because next week we have President's Day off. I mean, I was on my way. I was a couple of I was like almost 2 minutes away from at school, and next thing I went to class and just say you might as well turn back around. And I'm like, really? Like, yeah, they closed only for staff. I'm like, phew. I'm going to continue with Big Rick's comment. I think the fact that there have been many African Americans who have not been used properly or have become champion. I think the treatment has not been good. I also don't like some of the stereotypes used by WWE over the years. Yeah, I mean, okay. Thank you, Big Rick, because now I remember what the top was on the Wrestling Fanatics. Now I remember. It was during the New Day. There was like a big broken base in a way, but not one thing I love about the Wrestling Fanatics, that the Facebook group I'm in, Steve's in, Kristen, I believe you're in too, Nathan. Correct me if I'm wrong. But one thing I like is that in that group, there's a lot of agreeing to disagreeing. It's never, if somebody disagrees, it comes from an insult. And somebody just got blocked out of the group because they went on I think they went on Twitter. I don't know who it was, but they went on an insult and everything, and they got booted out because of that. Wrestling Fanatics, if somebody disagrees, it's not like a personal attack. Because in this time of age, with a disagreement, it has to come a personal attack, an insult. It can't just be, we disagree to disagree. We're just talking here, No, it's got to be like an insult. Especially you look on, like I said, you look on a lot of, you look on like a lot of YouTube, channels, especially if it has to deal with, Marvel and DC stuff. You don't get no agreeing to disagreeing, because most of all the comment page is just filled of, some minimal, some petty argument and all these insults and everything. And it's just like you're filling up the comment section with nonsense. Come on. But they were, but back to when the New Day came, it was like a big broken way. You know, people were saying give it a chance, and everybody, well, you might, so what? You might as well just have them be, which is another like stock black stereotype character. And this is just immediate, just like in movies and everything. Or would you rather have them be the angry black guy, where it's, you know, and the angry black man character, not as like he's black and he's angry. No, it's not that. See, Mark Henry is not, in a way, is not angry black. Yeah, he's angry. He's always like in a foul mood. But most definitely, the angry black man character is, you know, you always hear him talk about, you know, the man's holding me down and all that stuff. The man. You know, you hear like in a lot of blaxploitation movies, you know, the man's holding, you know, me down and all that stuff. Like, yeah, they know that they're, you know, and the most on the antagonist is Caucasian and everything. That's the man. That's like the angry black man character. So Mark Henry, you know, Mark Henry is angry not because of the man like holding him down. No, he's just always in a foul mood. So that's why I think when people say that you have the New Day like that, if the New Day was healed, and that wouldn't mean that they now become just the angry black man trope. No, they would just be healed. I mean, I think one of the best examples of, you know, not really going towards the, seems like, well, fans say it's either they're angry, they're being angry because they're held down because their race, that gimmick, they the angry black man, or they're always shucking and jiving and everything, that gimmick. A good example of not blending to either, and I've always said this, was the MVP character. The MVP character, you could have placed that on any like almost like any race, you know, just friends. You could have had like, you know, you could have had like a popular, you know, person like from, you know, from like Spain or something, and you know, and they do like they're the hottest free agent and everything. They paid all this money, but with MVP, you know, you could tell that he kind of incorporated a little bit of Mayweather and T.O. into it, I believe, into his character, and it was more like a football base. So, because he had like the freaking blow up tunnel and everything, but the MVP character, I think you could have had that be some like Caucasian, and they just like a big proper free agent. They got, you know, all the Rolexes and everything, but the MVP character, I think, was a really good example of showing that, yeah, you don't, you know, it doesn't have to be, yeah, only do it, only if they're face shucking and driving, if they're heel, they're mad at the man holding them down. The MVP character, you know, it took some time to get used to, because let's face it, when he first came, he was pelted with Power Ranger chants, and JBL say he always looked like a Miller Lite and everything. And so yeah, the MVP character. What was it? Okay, look at Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, he's just intense. He's just an intense guy. And now that, and I can fully say that that TNA, you know, that his reign as TNA champion, I know he's in the middle of a new one, but the one that was ended by Bobby Roode, that was a good reign. I think TNA really handled that reign very well. I really think they did. Okay, despite not liking the stereotypes, I don't think WWE are truly a race organization. I just want to see truly great African American babyface. I did not include The Rock because he's half small and half black. He already came from a league from great wrestling. Nathan Banks, out of all African American And in WWE, Booker T was used correctly in WCW as their main guy before WCW closed. After that, a different story. Okay, and Jay Flow, he agrees with Nathan. I agree. I don't believe. Wait, no, wait a minute. No, that's old. Okay, so comment on Nathan Banks and Big Rick's comments. Yeah, let's talk about Booker T. Booker T, Hall of Fame, I believe rightfully so. When I first saw Booker T, yeah, WCW. No, wait, no. When I first saw Booker T, WCW was not ending. When first time I saw Booker T, had to be like around. I think it's when Chris just, was watching Raw and he just flicked to Nitro, and Booker T had, I think it was like around 99 or so, because Booker T, if I recall, he was wearing his white trunks in the flame with the gloves before he switched to the briefs. And I saw him do the spinner Rooney, and Chris, he still always say he liked Booker T's song and everything. And he was always and everything, and that's how, like, okay, who is this guy? And then so yeah, Booker T, TV champion, multi-time WCW Tag Team champion, United States champion, and then yeah, by when WCW was about to close shop, they pushed Booker T as their top guy. And while you can't take that away, it is said that by the time that Booker T started to make it main event, WCW was already closing, and that's why some people I guess that's why some fans, they really don't. It's like, yeah, WCW was too late to try to make a star of Booker T. It was already over. But you can't say they did not make. You can't say that he did not become a star, because when he made his first arrival in WWE at the King of the Ring, when he attacked Austin, the crowd reacted. It wasn't like, oh, who's that supposed to be? They knew who he was. They knew, oh, that's Booker T, the WCW champion. And I remember, before Raw, Chris checked on Nitro, and it was after Booker T beat Jeff Jarrett, and they showed it. And Chris was very happy that Booker T had finally become the WCW champion. So you can never take away from him. And now Booker T came over to WWE. Oh, but wait a minute. Before he came to WWE, then he started coming across like The Rock. He even did, they had the bookend, which is a variation of the rock bottom, but because of his mannerism, coming out with shades and coming out with like designer clothing, yeah, it's almost like, hey, it's not like trying to make him like an XP of the Rock. And when he came over, just like that, Rock and Booker T, SummerSlam. And after that, which was pretty good, it was a good match. I think the Booker T and Rock, Shane, say Booker T, Rock / Shane angle was pretty entertaining. Everybody have their opinions on the invasion angle as a whole. But then after a while, then Booker T, he stayed heel. He had a had a team with Test, and then, I guess WWE realized, okay, he's becoming so popular, I'm gonna just turn him face. That he's got a colorful personality, and they team, he joined the NWO, and that went sour. And it was a pretty funny moment. He got literally kicked out of the NWO. Then came Booker Dust, which one of the most entertaining acts of that year. 2002, on Raw, Booker Dust was so entertaining. Booker T and Goldust, they became tag team champions. Then Booker T becomes the one contender for Triple H World Champion. And now here we go once again with the bringing up race, because WWE really started to blur the line of whether when Triple H meant by people like you and you people, your people. They at the time I'm thinking, I know this guy's not referring to those you people, like your people, like Booker T being black. And then he come on and say that no, it had nothing to do with that. He's talking about when he meant you people, Booker T being a criminal. And still to this day, people was like, no, that's where they were going with. And then when they got the heat that, like, oh shoot, let's just change it to him being Booker T having a criminal background. And I still feel Booker T should have won at WrestleMania, but it didn't happen. Like I've always said, I've gone on record and said on the Wrestling Corner, out of all Triple H's world title reigns, WWE World Heavyweight, his 2002 to 2003 reign was probably one of my least favorites. Probably was. Looking back on everything, probably was. I always said probably one of my least favorites. He just has such a stranglehold on it to the point it was kind of almost nauseous to me. And then, Booker T, he went through his kind of his ups and downs, he stayed relevant. 2004 they turned him heel and he had a little feud with Undertaker, but then later in the year, then he had a pretty good, and I really enjoyed it, United States feud between himself and Cena, and then that's led to the Best of 5 series. And then he came back and he returned as a face before the year ended. And then like around 2005, he kind of like stayed in limbo until he took the belt off of Chris Benoit and became United States champion again. And then that was a pretty good feud again. Since they had passed in WCW and it led to a best of 7 series. It's pretty weird when Orton was Booker T's substitute and won the title for him. And I'm thinking, why not just have Randy Orton since he actually won the match? Then by 2006, he became King Booker. And it's so funny that when he became champion, it came with the King Booker gimmick instead of just him being Booker T. He finally became world champion. When he finally became world champion WWE, it came out of that King Booker gimmick, which had a lot of laughable moments, but it's like, man, why not just be Booker T? And then he left WWE, went to TNA, and Booker T's TNA run, it was a good surprise, but it took a while for him to really have a real good match in TNA. Like I've always said, his feud with Bobby Roode, I think the premise was good, but I don't think they had the chemistry for the matches. And then they turned him heel. He had a thing with Joe, and then the main event Mafia came. And then it was not until when he started wrestling with AJ Styles, that really brought back, oh man, this is the Booker T that we remember. He put on really good matches. And Booker T started acting weird in TNA, going from back to his King Booker accent to a South African accent to a Jamaican accent to a straight hood, you can barely understand him accent. And it's like, man, what is wrong with this guy? But all in all, Booker T, Booker T, in my opinion, is one of the best to step foot in the ring. And, and I enjoy him on commentary. It's pretty fun to hear him on commentary and everything. Oh, wait. One more recent quote. Oh. Okay, yeah. Okay, Jake Flow, yeah. I agree, Nathan. And yeah, Big Rick Rock is my favorite wrestler, but I also didn't include him because he came down my family lineage. Yeah, The Rock is part of that great Johnson Maivia family. And I've always said it. I think that family is just born with talent and just born with not just talent, but athleticism. Doesn't even matter what size, especially the bigger, the more it's like the bigger, even the more athletic, and bring up that family. Yeah, Rikishi's going in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations. I think it's no brainer who's going to induct him. His sons, the Usos. Um, but let's kind of shift genders, if you will. Let's go. Well, oh wait, no, wait, no. That was another thing. If once again, it seems like everybody, and it has nothing to do with because everybody's agreeing. It's just, yeah, if WWE was fully quote unquote racist, then Rey Mysterio, because him being Mexican, and I believe Rey was born in the United States. Same thing, I think same thing for Eddie, but Eddie is, I think, of course the Guerrero family is Mexican, but I believe Eddie was born. You know what? Let me make sure. I believe Eddie was born. I think Eddie was born in America. Yeah. Yeah. El Paso, Texas, United States. Yeah, Eddie is Mexican American. So yeah, Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio would never became WWE and World Heavyweight Champion. Rey became both, even though I still feel that his W championship was infamous because I thought that was a real douchebag move from Cena. Just how it came across, like, hey, when everybody celebrating Rey Mysterio, you got Cena just smiling and smirking, like, hey, don't get too comfortable with that, bro. Because yep, you're having a match with me later on tonight after you won it. So yeah, Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio never would have became worldwide champions, and they would just no, they would just been jobbers or something. Um, hmm. But yeah, now let's switch. Let's switch. Let's switch like genders. Let's talk about some women. Some. Yeah, we over top we've had. We have women like, Sweet Sapphire. We've had women like, Jacqueline. We had Jacqueline. We've had, we've had Jazz. We've had Shaniqua. We've had oh my gosh, we've had Melina. We've had Naomi. We've had heck, Mickey James. Mickey James is Native American. You know, Mickey James is Native American. Um, and Jazz, Jacqueline, Mickey James. Hopefully Naomi can call herself a champion someday. But yeah, those three. And yeah, Alicia Fox can call herself, but I think the best thing that Alicia Fox's reign was her match with Eve. And then right after that, once she ran to Melina, she just like treated like another person. Um, but yeah, Jacqueline, Jazz, and Mickey can definitely call themselves champions, multi-time champions. I mean, you know, and over time, I really appreciated Jazz work. I mean, Jazz, you know, you know, she was legit. I mean, it seemed like there was nothing fake about Jazz. I mean, from personality and how do that tomorrow morning. Same for give me that procedure you get up. Same thing for even Jacqueline. Jacqueline gained a reputation of being really tough. She was like one of the boys. And, Mickey, right after, Mickey was in like the final days of her popularity came in the final days of Lita and Trish, and her popularity carried over. And Melina, despite her being her own worst enemy in terms of backstage as a scene, Melina was one hell of a performer. Even Bret Hart acknowledges that. I mean, when finally Melina stepped from just being Eminem's manager and finally got in the ring, I mean, it was just phenomenal. I mean, the intensity, the creativity. I just really wish she wasn't, as a scene, her own worst enemy. So, and then we have, let's talk a little bit about Alicia Fox, Alicia Fox, who, really coming to her own, but seems still WWE, they like flip flop her. 1 minute she's face, and then 1 minute she's heel. It's just, I think Alicia Fox is like the Big Show / Kane of women for WWE. Like, she just keeps turning. And Alicia Fox, just like Naomi, they're great athletes. But, I would like to see that at least Fox can say that she had a real run. And what I mean by real run, just mean that from beginning to end, it comes off strong. And I hope the same thing for Naomi. That come on, don't think. Oh, and whoopsie once again. And I think so too. If WWE actually, stayed, if stayed with her and kept her, I think Khan would have been successful in the WWE. But as they said, they could not. They didn't have anything planned for her. Whatever that come on. So yeah, so anything like that, I can't go on and just say, because if they was fully, then then none of those would never became champion. They would never been even remotely. Even if they were popular, they would just say, "Yep, we don't care about that. Just just bugger off. You get what you get, and they're not. They would have got that." But even with that being said, I would like to see, I would like to see more wrestlers of, but because they're out there, it's not like they're not. I mean, guys in the indies, heck, if anything, Heck, I've even said it. I would like to see WWE sign Jay Lethal. You know, Jay Lethal is a good talent. Enjoyed the hell out of him in TNA. You know, that Black Machismo gimmick, which you do not know, came out of the good graces of Macho. He actually got Macho's permission to run with that gimmick. It was great, and that's what got him really over in TNA. Um, who else? Um, Now, somebody that, and I do agree, you know, this has nothing to do with, well, he was in WWE for a short before he retired, but I know it's more about WWE, but I'm just going to put TNA, who really could have been something, was really something, could have been more than what he already was. Yeah, that was Monty Brown. You know, the alpha male Monty Brown would do the pounce and everything. Man, he was so over. I mean, despite his limited move set, he was so over. His finishing move was over. His personality was over. And then they turned him heel and sided in with Jarrett, the same guy, you know, he was going against, and saying stuff like he never got you know, he's tired of not getting shoved. It was, you know, how you go with the guy and Jeff Jarrett. And I think all of Monty Brown's momentum went away when they turned him heel. Um, did I bring up Ahmed? Yeah, I think I did bring, but yep, okay, Ahmed Johnson. He would never became Intercontinental champion. You know, Ahmed Johnson was very popular, and even, and like I said, WWE could just went, oh, he's popular, but still okay, but still not going to give you a title. You know, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. You know, like your people don't deserve, like, you know, doing the smug. Your people do not deserve, you know, championships like that. I mean, so, but yeah, I do wish not just for Black, I just wish WWE was, you know, a little bit more diverse. I really do. I'm not saying that there's not some diverse, but I just wish it was a little bit more. Man, man, you really can't say yeah, you know, a Canadian and an American. That come on, can you really tell the difference between a Canadian and an American? Like just looking, like you look, like you put Bret Hart and you put Steve Austin right next to each other. Hmm. Oh yeah, I could tell Bret. He's a Canadian. You just by looking at it, yeah, I could tell, and I could tell Austin, you know, that he's American. You know, you can definitely tell a Canadian and an American apart. I know you can. I don't think you can. Like from physical, I don't think you can. I mean, um, yeah, but you like hopefully uh you know, hopefully Hideo, he gets into the, you know, he comes to team, not to, I say team, he comes up to the main roster, and you know, and everything. But that's why now no, that's why it's good. You know, we got Rusev. You know, first ever Bulgarian and WWE. You know, that's pretty cool. You know, yeah, yeah, we got a Bulgarian in WWE, and he's getting a pretty well push, and he's about to be in a high profile match, a pay per view match with the top guy of the company, Johnny Boy Cena. Johnny Boy, Johnny. Um, so yeah, you know, um, well, I really can't say, like fully, you know, say that, yeah. that the, that the WWE as an organization is, racist, because if they were bona fide, I think nobody, the names that I just mentioned, would have never, even if they were popular, they would have never gotten even a shot, not even a shot at championships, not even becoming champion. I don't think it would have happened. And since since Blue Goblin, he's watching this, since he was the one that came with the topic, yeah, you've always said, but now do can you do you feel that, yeah, that the WWE is fully racist organization because of some of the representation and everything of blacks? Because it's not, when everybody says it's not, WWE is racist towards, it's never that, it's just their race. Racist towards what? Racist towards who? Are they racist towards, Italians? I don't see that many Italians in WWE. Are they racist toward Japanese? I don't see them. Are they racist? Who are they? You're just saying they're racist. Well, when you just put it like that, I don't think you can say they are. Once again, there's been some instances in backstage, but once again, like I said, in the NFL, you've had that with Bill Romanowski. When he was throwing out racial slurs to some NFL players. Bill Romanowski played for the Denver Broncos. When I saw him, the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. That was the last team I saw him play for before he retired. So yeah, I think it's really hard to say, that they are. And once again, I just don't know. I mean, if and I'm and it's not like and everybody knows this. It's not like I'm afraid to be against something of WWE. No, I don't like everything of WWE. I really know there's some things WWE I don't like, but on this matter, it's not even a case of defending. I'm using observation. But yeah, like Big Red said and everything. Yeah, there's been some stereotypes and everything that, yeah, not so cool. But it's not like there's not been any good. There not been some good representation of blacks in the WWE. Once again, I bring up Ahmed Johnson. I bring up Bobby Lashley. Whether you like Bobby Lashley or not, what was so stereotypical racist about his representation? They highlighted him being in the military, which was good. He was just an intense dude. And then you got Booker T. And Booker T was just a very colorful. It was just a very colorful character, personality. He's still colorful. It's still the same old Booker that we knew back in the late '90s and the 2000s. It's the same Booker T. And so, oh yeah, while there's been some very racial stereotypes, but like I said again, you won't just find that in WWE. You will. You watch the Boondocks, which was created by an African American. You will find it there too. I mean, but I think I thought of one more comment. Oh yeah, please. If anybody got any lasting comments, before I wrap this shindig up, um, please, 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 send your comment. Because I believe I think the Steve Malcolm show that one comment was sent when the show just finished. So I will give whoever wants to, if they have one more comment, I'll give you some time to send it. Send it away. Can't keep running away. Can't keep running away. I forget. I forget who sang that song. Who sung that song? But that's one thing I remember from it. Can't keep running away. Can't keep running away. Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem that any more comments are on their way. Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me for this Bennett Brothers Wrestling Corner, which was episode 5 of season 4. 5 and 4 together equals 9. Also 5 and 4 in timetable equals 20. That's a little bit of math for you. And if you divide, 5 and 4, you get what do you get? Oh no. I don't got a calculator now. So yeah, I forget what 5 divided by 4 is. But yeah, I do know what 5 plus 4 and 5, times 4 is. 9 and 20. But other than that, this is Hope 93 in the place to be. Once again, thank you for joining me for the Bennett Brothers. This was the Bennett Brothers Wrestling Corner, episode 5 of season 4. Next week will be the go home show for Fastlane and also President's Day. So, I'm just making sure. I think that's not the last. Yeah, there'll be one more Monday. There'll be one more Monday after the 16th of February, and that will be the show where that'll be the first edition of the Wrestling Corner Retro, which was Nathan Banks' idea. And since it's February, I am going to go with February. So it might be one of the No Way Outs. I think it's going to be No Way Out 2002 that is going to be up for discussion. And I believe Nathan's idea was somebody can join in. So please, if you want to join in, I'm thinking, of course, everybody joins in the combo. I think actually, be a guest, it'd be pretty cool, to have, different guests besides, the regular guests, and Steve and Blue Goblin. But lately, it's mostly been Steve, which is not bad because Steve is my boy, my partner in crime. But yeah, so the 23rd. Yeah, so Monday, February the 23rd, that'll be the first edition of the Bennett Brothers Wrestling Corner Retro. But other than that, so I bid you an adieu, and I hope you have a nice weekend. And with that, and until the next corner, peace.